Time now for our international press review. And while the bidding war is on with Paramount launching a hostile bid for Warner Brothers, the press having a lot to say about that, and Diptyka Laurent is here to take us through it.
Well, Eve, this is from The Hollywood Reporter here. Its headline reads, "It's a bidding war. Paramount attempts an hostile offer for Warner Brothers." The drama of this takeover is perhaps ironically worthy of a TV series on Netflix. Paramount launching a hostile $108 billion takeover of Warner Brothers Discovery, one of the most storied studios in Hollywood. It came after the WBD board voted unanimously for Netflix's rival cash and stock deal worth $82.7 billion. Now, the Financial Times takes us into the scene, behind the scenes of what it calls one of the most audacious hostile bids in history. Paramount finances coming from chief executive David Ellison's billionaire father, Larry Ellison, Oracle founder, but also Middle Eastern sovereign wealth funds and a U.S. private equity fund run by Jared Kushner, who is, of course, Donald Trump's son-in-law. Paramount reportedly made 6 proposals over 12 weeks to WBD's board, but a person close to the company is quoted as saying that they were gaslit and then ghosted as Warner Brothers courted Netflix instead. One sticking point apparently was the Middle Eastern sovereign funds, which Warner Brothers shareholders worried would not pass a test with a U.S. committee that's in charge of reviewing potential national security risks from foreign investment. In any case, Deadline says that Paramount tried to sweeten the deal by promising to release at least 30 films annually, an attempt perhaps to allay fears that a Netflix takeover would favor TV streaming releases over film and theatrical releases.
Okay, any interesting opinion pieces on all that?
Yeah, absolutely. There's one actually from the editors of the Wall Street Journal today who say here that we should just let Warner's shareholders decide. In this editorial, the paper argues that that the shareholders of Warner Brothers will have to nonetheless navigate the mercurial whims of Donald Trump, who absolutely wants to be involved in the deal. Both CEOs of Netflix and Paramount have courted Trump like, I quote, contestants on The Bachelorette.
Okay. Moving on, and well, Israel says that the yellow line demarcation that has been put in place across Gaza since October is now a new border, Diptyka.
Well, it's part, as you mentioned, it's part of Donald Trump's 20-point peace plan that commits the Israeli military to progressively hand over Palestinian territory to an international security force until they have completely withdrawn from Gaza. Now, on Monday, the chief of general staff, Eyal Zamir, said Israel would hold on to its current military positions, which essentially give it control of the border crossing to Egypt, but also a significant part of agricultural land. Now, there's a really interesting article from Al-Quds Al-Arabi, a pan-Arab London-based paper here. What you see here are 3 different maps that trace the evolution of the Gaza Strip and how Israel has continued to divide the Gaza Strip between 1948 and today. The headline here reading "The Yellow Line of Death." The first map that you see here is shows the areas carved out of Gaza following the Rhodes Agreement of 1949. The second one in the middle there highlights the yellow line as it appeared during the Israeli army's deployment last October. The third map there shows the Israeli army's withdrawal according to the Trump plan, and essentially shows that Gazans would only have this small slice here, about 20% of their land. Israel would therefore hold more than the 53% that it declares to have of the Gaza Strip.
Baffling stuff, Diptyka. The Washington Post, meanwhile, today looking at the growing Japanese community living in India.
Yeah, it seems quite improbable, but it is indeed quite prevalent. It must be said, though, there are only about 8,000 Japanese citizens living in India as of 2024. It is, of course, barely a drop in the ocean for India's 1.4 billion strong population, but nonetheless, it is an increase of 4-fold from 2005. Now, many Japanese expats came for work with Japanese companies like Panasonic or Toyota, who are very present in India. Many stayed, and the expat presence has grown, particularly in the city of Gurgaon, a financial and technical hub. There are more and more Japanese restaurants. There are rooms to play mahjong, while Indians now are becoming increasingly hooked on anime culture and Studio Ghibli dreamscapes. East meets subcontinent in this micro expat community.
Okay, well, finally from you, Deeptika, the world's first ever AI reality TV show. Tell me more.
I heard the sigh in your voice, Eve. Indeed, it launched.
I'm prejudging it, I am.
Yeah, it launched on YouTube on Monday, and it is, as the London Evening Standard explains, the first ever all AI reality TV show. Now, it was launched by Amation Studios. It's a reality series TV show where all the contestants are virtual. There are 6 contestants. It's called Non-Player Combat. It's a 4-episode series, and I'll see if I can pull up the trailer for you here. It's a 4-episode series. It's basically a hyper-realistic fight to the death competition between 6 characters who are hunting each other and facing off threats like polar bears and venomous snakes. It's said to be a sort of blend of Hunger Games, Fortnite, and The Traitors. The Evening Standard explaining that each contestant is programmed with a human backstory, past lovers, personal tragedies, and they also face what humans would face in a similar situation like hunger and fatigue. Among the contestants, a murderer, a Navy SEAL, and a content creator who are all parachuted down into the jungle. Eve.
Okay, lots of interesting questions arising from that, Deeptika. Thanks a lot for that look at the international press.